Well, so I made my living off of open houses. I tell my agents on the team all the time, like, look, I would do 2 opens almost every Sunday. And that's how I truly learned, how to talk to people. And, it was all about bonding, right? Because our business, it's a contact sport. It's all about relationships.
Big it up, big it up. Yeah.
All right, welcome to Let's Talk Real with Mel. We're here with Todd Bartusek.
You got that right. You got that right, Melvin.
Omaha, Nebraska, the all-metro real estate group, a Berkshire Hathaway company.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about your team, kind of your setup in Omaha.
Yeah. So I've been in the business for 23 years. So I've been in coaching for the last 7 years.
Okay.
And I've had a team for about 6 years.
Okay.
Got
coaching, got ready
going on 16. Yeah, okay. yeah. And so right now we have 3 agents. We had 4 as of 2 weeks ago, and I promoted my top producing agent. She's standing right over there.
Okay.
I promoted my top producing agent to our sales manager, and so she's going to come in and do the things that I know that as a team that we need to do, as in the training, the onboarding, the recruiting, the things that as an agent that's in production just hasn't been able to do. Okay. So really excited about that. And
So you're not just the team lead. You're actually also kind of in the street with the team.
You're working.
You're in the street. You're helping buyers. You're helping sellers. You're helping generate revenue for the company.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you've got you said so you've got a sales manager, office or operations manager.
Yep. Sales manager. We have an office manager.
Okay.
We have a marketing director, and we have a transaction coordinator.
Okay. And 3 buyer's agents.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you've got probably that's about 8, a team of 8-ish. Something
sounds
like that,
right. Yeah. You do the math.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. Good sized team. Now, and you said you started a team like 1 year in coaching, and then you immediately knew.
Well, so I actually, I should step back a bit. I actually had a team probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And when I say team, it's team. I mean, it was me and some other agents, and we were just
working together.
We were just doing our thing.
Okay.
Now with coaching, I see the value add and how important it is for, team members to have accountability, to have coaching, to have a plan and a direction that can help them grow their business, where before it was just very freestyle.
Okay.
But now we're trying to truly run it like
a business.
We're trying to run it like a business.
Yeah.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
We're trying to run it like a business, and so that we can also help the agents not just have a job, but to build a career.
Awesome. Yeah. So before, I guess it was just kind of friends. You guys would kind of shoot the shit, but now it's structure, and I imagine that you're getting better. You're seeing that everyone is experiencing better results.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
They're loving the structure. They're loving what we're implementing, with them to help them truly grow their business, because some of the newer agents, they don't know what to do. So that's why we come to these Tom Ferry events, is to help all of our skill sets get better, including myself.
Right. So, So and it's good that you definitely believe in coaching. 7 years,
100%.
You believe in it. So what did the well, let's touch on like kind of today's numbers. Like what is approximately like units or volume, or if you want to share like
so
business.
So for 2022 we ended up just shy of 60 million.
Okay.
So we ended up about the same as we were in 2021. Now we had more agents in 2021. There was about 4 or 5 agents that either left or
were doing more with less.
We are, and that's only going to get better as we continue to train up the agents. Average sales price in Omaha is about $300,000.
Okay.
So we're a smaller market.
That's a lot of houses. What, 200?
Well, we did about 170 units.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm very heavily in production. Like I said, I want to have the agents start, beating me from a overall production and unit standpoint.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
So 170 units, 60 million in production, no small change. What I'm sure it looked like that 23 years ago too, right?
Yeah, no. First year in the business, I made $18,000.
Okay,
Yep.
$18,000 first year in the business.
Yeah, and I think my volume, if I remember, it was 1.8 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and what did that look like then? What got you into real estate in the first place?
So I had one rental property. I wanted to get my license so I could use the license as some commission kickback because I wanted to buy some more. I worked for a credit card processing company in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And I had been there for about 5 years, and my time was up. You know, they would go through about every 3-4 years, and they'd lay off mid-level managers, and I was one of them. And
You were in the group.
I had just gotten my license, and I walked into what at the time was Prudential, and walked in. I said, well, I guess I'm going to give this a shot. And they found me a desk, and they said, start calling people.
Here's a
And I
pen,
said, who?
phone, right?
Who do I call? What do I do? You know, and that was literally, so getting fired from that job was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So, I mean, I guess if you could always rewind the clock and beg and stay, and you'd still be there. You maybe have your gold watchman out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's all right. You know what? I'm very happy
You're
with
okay. You
with
prefer it this way?
the path that
You like
the big man upstairs has taken me so far.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So you were at Prudential that first year. How long did you? What did the? I mean, I guess we know the last 7-year path, but what did that first 15, 16 years look like?
You know, so I was actually rookie of the year at Prudential in that first year.
Okay.
And
1.8 million is even in. I mean, and back then, the average price point was a fraction.
I think literally the average price point in Omaha at that time was like 125,000.
Right. So that's a lot of houses.
Yeah.
For first year.
Well, so I made my living off of open houses. I tell my agents on the team all the time, like, look, I would do 2 opens almost every Sunday. And that's how I truly learned, how to talk to people. And, it was all about bonding, right? Because our business, it's a contact sport. It's all about relationships. And so I just knew I'm putting myself in a place of opportunity by being there, right? Because if I'm not there, I'm not talking to anybody.
Right.
And that was what really kickstarted my business.
Okay. So you were doing open houses that first year?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
And I did open houses for, good 3-4 years, very, very consistently. And I know even today in this world, even as digital as we are, opens are still great because you're getting real life people right in front.
Coming to you, right?
Absolutely.
Walking in the door.
Yep.
And I'm sure you don't just like stick a sign in the front and say open house. You get the word out.
Well, so we like to get our open signs up, midweek, lots of directionals, social media posts, even simple things like going into our MLS and putting comments in that we're going to have it open on such and such date. Because Zillow, obviously everyone looks at Zillow. So, then people are looking at Zillow, they're going to see it. So a lot of social media, just doing everything that we can to,
Drive traffic.
Yeah, get that exposure out there.
That is the job of a real estate marketer.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sure that those first 16 years were totally easy. Like, you did some open houses and the money just fell from the sky, right?
No.
What were some of the challenges that you had as a newly licensed agent recently fired? I mean, yeah, you made some. You were the rookie of the year that first year, but obviously you had your sights set higher.
Well, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Even when I was working at the credit card company, I was power washing and staining decks on the side. I just knew that I didn't want to work for someone. I felt like I was high energy, just couldn't sit behind a desk. So I just always had that spirit. So, realizing, once I got into real estate a little bit, because when you first get in, you don't really understand, like, okay, this is actually a business. This is my business, so, I can.
You're in charge of you.
Right. And
The good,
so,
sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's
yeah, absolutely. That drunk monkey a lot of times, gets all of us.
Yeah.
But, I just realized, I love working with people, love helping. I have a pretty good working knowledge of homes, as a landlord, and so, but yeah, no, it's never easy. What I always tell the agents on the team, or anyone that's thinking about getting into it for that matter, that our business is not complicated, but it's not easy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can put in the minimum and you're going to get
the minimum or less than the minimum, maybe.
Right. Right.
Okay. And so over those years, what was a challenge or some adversity? I mean, we've all had adversity, some big, some small, but in the moment,
Yeah.
Share some adversity. It could be business related. It could be not. But what was
Well, I would say some of the adversity and some of the challenges that I've had even in the business and even with let's say running a team. Okay, the first time that I had the team that literally, again, I'm going to say team because it was just a group of us.
Mm-hmm.
It was my team, but it was not really ran as a team. I didn't have meetings because honestly, I didn't know what to do. And so I would say what happened was we had culture issues with some of the agents.
Mm-hmm.
Some agents wouldn't want to come to work because of another agent on the team that was kind of a cancer. And so I had to work through that. Like, okay, like I don't want to lose agents because of one person, and so I actually disbanded the team at one point.
I lost everything.
After I got into coaching,
Mm-hmm.
my coach at the time said to me, "Do you have A, B, or C players?" And I said, I got nothing but C players. And so he said, disbanded on Monday. And I did.
Wow.
Yeah. And because I said, look, guys, well, I laid out a path of what was going to happen. And as C players, they didn't want to do it. And I said, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. So you're either going to be here
Or you're not.
or you're not. And they all left.
And they chose their path.
Yep.
They left.
Yep.
And it worked. And so basically, we all as entrepreneurs sometimes struggle, and I know I do, with standards, setting standards and holding people accountable, because everyone wants accountability until they get it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when they get it, and then they say, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Then now it's back on us.
Right.
And then we have to make sometimes tough decisions.
Right. Right.
That we want to keep all our people together, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, in fact, Renee, my sales manager, standing back there, we've been talking about this a lot, of really trying to, because every agent, every person is different, right? Like, we were actually talking about kids last night. We were talking about how all of our kids are so different.
Yep.
So one of the things that she and I have been talking about and really want to hone in on is the agent's why. And also, how do we inspire them and get them excited about their business and how they can better their lives just by literally a few simple tasks a day. Easier said than done, but
Right.
we're working on it.
Yeah, getting some consistency going.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, so this is a good segue. Like I said, last night we were chatting about family. You got kids.
Yep.
Well, just tell, share, like, what are their ages? Like,
Yep. 2 boys, 15 and 17. So freshman and senior in high school.
Okay. Maybe
but-
keep you busy a little bit.
well, yeah, I mean, they do. I mean,
Right.
it's always something. I mean, because you got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, there's
They keep you. I say kids keep me young. Or, at least in my mind, that's what I keep telling myself. Keep me busy, keep me going. And,
For sure.
And so, what do you do outside of real estate? I mean, you because I'm sure you work like 9 to 5, and then at 5:01 you're out the door.
Yeah.
What do you?
No, we know that's not the
Like,
case.
What do you like? What do you like doing when you're not helping families?
So my freshman, he wrestles. So I love going to his meets. Spend a lot of time with that. That's a lot of fun. My oldest, so he has special needs. He's high functioning autism.
Okay.
So we're actually in the process right now of trying to get him into the University of Iowa has a program for special needs kids. So
Okay.
we're working diligently on trying to do that as we speak.
Does he going to college soon?
Well, yeah,
The time is now.
it's coming up. So we're working on it. We like to travel. Just I guess nothing crazy. Just trying to get through the day and raise the kids right, and hopefully they stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's all we. I mean, as parents, I mean, that's all we can. We do our best. My dad used to say, "You look up and your kids will be grown."
Yeah.
And I'd say, no. When my son was born, he's 22 now.
Yeah, you can remember it like yesterday, right?
He said, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna look up, and they're gonna be grown.
Yeah,
And I was like, and it's like,
it's true.
they're grown.
Yeah, because the older we get, time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
So how do you what do you do in you've been in Omaha obviously at least 23 years.
Pretty much my whole life for the most part.
Okay, basically born and raised there for the most part.
Yeah.
What do you do outside of your social things? Like, you're in the community. What do you do?
So I do a lot with the school. And that's in the farm that I work. And it's also the high school that I went to. It's the high school that my parents went to.
Oh, wow.
So my kids are 3rd generation, the same school that I went to. So I have a ton of love and loyalty toward, for the school district. So We do a lot of fundraisers. I mean, I donate to the school. I actually am doing a scholarship for a senior, and I'm just literally starting it as we speak because I just want to be able to give back because I had great experiences and great memories from growing up in that area. And I really, just want, like I said, I want to be able to give back.
Right.
So we like doing things like that. Just pretty socially active, do it to a certain degree to, from a selfish standpoint, I guess. I mean, because, I don't generally socialize with a lot of realtors. I socialize with clients who, a lot of my clients have now become friends.
Yeah.
And I mean, we literally travel together. So that's really where, outside of family or work, those are the things that I'm trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm getting together with people, I'm usually trying to, it's somebody that's in my sphere, right? That's, that I can help with something, or they need my help, or it's just hanging out and going and golfing, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's one thing that I love about this business is that we meet so many people, and oftentimes those clients do become friends. So
right.
You said third generation, same school.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. So hopefully, are any teachers there when you were there?
So I had some teachers that taught my parents.
That you had, and I'm sure, hopefully the teachers aren't punishing your kids for stuff that you did.
Well, I think I got punished a little bit for stuff that my dad, because my dad's like, I'm a chip off the old block from my dad, so I think my kids might even be getting some of that. Getting some of the wrath because of me.
A little extra, like put the glasses down. It's like, I know your dad. I've got my eyes on you.
I've actually had my kids say that.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were a model student.
Exactly. Right.
Sure. So where do you see yourself and your team? I mean, in the next, let's say 5 years, what are your plans? Where do you plan to grow to? How do you like the comfortable? I mean, are you at a kind of a sweet spot? You like that production, that per agent production where you're at, and everyone's kind of happy and you're happy kind of with that, or
no?
Do you no? Okay.
No.
So what's the plan?
Right? So, I have big visions. That's why I mentioned, Renee, promoting her from the top agent on the team into helping me run and lead the team. So I'm super excited about that. She's going to do great. We work really well together. So I guess to answer your question, 5 years from now, yeah, unless something catastrophic happens, we should have, I would say, between 20 and 30 agents. That's kind of some of the goal that we've talked about.
Okay. It's a good size team.
Well, and it certainly can be, but I don't want to have average agents. I don't want to have the average agent on a team sells between 12 and 15 houses a year. I think we can do a lot better than that. I mean, that's one house a month.
Right.
That's Bush League, in my opinion. So that's why we want to be able to give them the structure and show them, hey, if you do these simple things, this is a roadmap for your own success. Because like I said, this is not a complicated business, but it's not easy. We have to give them direction. And we know that agents that come onto teams, they're there for a reason. They want that direction. They want the accountability. But to your point, everybody says that they want accountability. Everybody says that they're open-minded until they're pushed.
Yeah.
Right? Until they're pushed out of being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So just like a Tom Ferry line, it's about being comfortable, getting uncomfortable. Right? We have an agent on the team right now, 28 years in the business. And she didn't even have social media when she started on my team 2.5 years ago. Now she's doing weekly videos with our marketing director. So we have pushed her, in a good way. And she was resistant at first, but I'm super proud of her. She has pushed through. Now she's literally doing weekly videos and sending that out to her sphere. And now it's almost becoming commonplace for her. So
that's pretty cool.
So that's what we want to look at is, okay, where is an agent thriving at, and how can we help and pour gas on that and make that even better? And also, where are some areas of improvement that we can look at? Because again, they're all different. Some are going to shine with their sphere. Some are going to not shine. Some are going to kill it with online leads. Some are going to not even want to pick up the phone for those. But so if we can tap into their skill set and their strengths, let's do that. But also, we know that we need to turn up, an area where they're struggling, because we all struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can, be the outsider looking in to help them grow, I think people are going to have, that's a huge value add, right? Versus just, hey, here's where I hang my license. Here's where I get my check from, and then we see a on closing day or after closing when they pick up a check. We want to have the culture, work hard, play hard.
Yeah, and that's a good testimony to what you've been able to do is take someone. 28 years. I'm sure she had some habits. What we've found is sometimes the agents that come from other offices, we all have our own biases. We all have our own set of luggage that we bring to the table, whatever table it is.
Right.
And to get someone to actually, who's never, 28 years in the business, and to get them to understand that, no, this is going to help. Help me help you.
Yeah.
And because I'm sure that if you got 3 others or 5 at the same time, the other 4 probably would not have come along. They would have either maybe left the team or stayed on the team but just refused to do.
Yeah, and we know that we're actually going to start dealing with that here shortly, because there's some standards. You just brought up that a few minutes ago. There are some standards that we are going to start holding their feet to the fire, because as a team lead, but also that someone that was heavily in production, I did not do a great job holding their feet to the fire and, making them, understand that, hey, this is how it's going to be, or you're just not going to be here, or there's, we're going to strip you of leads, or whatever the case may be, right? There's a lot of different ways to do it. But so, yeah, that's really what we want to do, is run it like an actual sales organization, because real estate teams, real estate brokerages, they're just loose, generally speaking, right? If you're a sales rep for any company, right? Blinds, somebody selling blinds. If you're not making your quotas, you're not making your calls, you're not, hitting your minimums, you're not going to have a job.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's, I've been in other sales organizations, so but that's what we want to do, is we want to truly run it like a business.
Yeah. And I would imagine the challenge, or some of the challenge, could be for you. You're selling 100 houses, and
I have,
right. And doing that, raising a family, doing work in the community, you can barely, I would guess, even try to know your head on straight. And then I also have to now just get you to do what it is that you're supposed to do to help your business. That's probably where, and I guess was that kind of the moment where you said, you know what, we need a sales manager, that you would, what was the point where you decided, where you said, you know what, I need some help?
Well, I can tell you, so being in the Tom Ferry organization, we're surrounded by amazing agents, right? And just like yourself. So really for me, and I'm a competitive person. And so I'm okay, if this guy can do it, or this gal can do it, I can do it. But also realizing that there's only one of me, and I'm a self-proclaimed control freak. But I'm learning I need to delegate.
Let go a little bit.
Yeah. And so, I realized, okay, I do have a lot to offer. I have 23 years knowledge of, in the business. So I do have a lot to offer a new agent, or even a struggling agent, or whatever the case may be. And so that's one of the reasons why I did want to start up a team again. Like a legit team, because I know that I can help.
Yeah.
But I need help to help me. And that's where, my great staff comes in.
Yeah, because we've, and I've been in the position before where, where I'm trying to do everything, and then sometimes what happens is then nothing gets done.
Yeah.
Or nothing gets done well.
Big time.
And so,
yeah. Right.
We have to, I got a quote of the day. So let me share that. My quote of the day: you can have all the right strategies in the world. If you don't have the right culture, you're dead. Patrick Weitzel.
Yeah.
So.
So a lot of the team leads that I've talked to when I come to the Tom Ferry events, and just the other agents that I know from around the country, that is what rings true to me, is that culture is so important for sustainability, right? To keep the agents, they want to have a place that they can call home, that they feel good about, a team that they just truly have, that they're a part of something. And so, yeah, that the mention of the culture, yeah, that's paramount.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, you're doing an awesome job, and you're, 5 years from now, you're going to have quadruple your agents, helping a lot more families. And
that's
so
the plan.
Good work. So
That's the plan.
If someone wants to buy a house in Omaha, or sell a house in Omaha, or maybe someone wants to learn from you and your 23 years experience as an agent, and they want to help grow their business and and kind of following your footsteps, and they want to be able to sell 100 houses in a year, just like you do. How would we reach you?
So my email is todd@homesforsaleomaha.com. My number is 402-215-7383. If there's any agents that are watching, we would love to just have a conversation and see what we can do to help you.
All right.
No obligation, obviously.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Hey, likewise. Yeah, good chatting with you.
Pick it up, pick it up.